Bulletcast for life.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Bulletcast. We are the number one sports recreational podcast in the world today. I am the greatest sports recreational podcaster in the world today. I'm the podfather. I may no longer be the champion of this podcast, but I'm still number one. I have with me in studio, he's the Canadian Destroyer, host of the award-winning Under the Radar, host of Curveballs and Chair Shots, the current reigning and five-time Bulletcast champion. Brandon, how's it going, man?
I'm doing good. It's nice to be champion once again.
Okay.
I walked out of a WWE pay-per-view being champion, and I find it ironic, or maybe a coincidence, that we're not doing a video, and you don't have the championship anymore, and you didn't even bring the championship for me to hold.
We're not even doing video.
I mean, I'm gonna let it slide this time, but next week.
You know what? Maybe you should be Daniel Bryan. Get your own championship.
Maybe, I mean, that's not the first and only incarnation of the Bulletcast Championship. There are others out there.
Yes, there are. But you know that one you made was that
was back in the old days. We were on a budget back then.
Yeah, that was that's like the Edge spinning rated R title. It's iconic, man. Even like Austin's Smoking Skull, you never know.
We were supposed to record at someone's house.
Yes.
Maybe we were supposed to have a reunion of sorts, I was told, but of course, that didn't happen.
I think we got a fan mail about that other guy.
Oh, okay.
We shall see, yes. All right, let's get into this performance-enhancing audio. So the Usos, they re-sign a new deal with WWE. It's a 5-year deal. They even got a little pay raise.
So after all that happened with Jimmy Uso, it's nice to see that WWE just forgets or forgives, and now they are making even more money.
Exactly. That's how it has to be done. All right, AEW, the television network, they are working with
A&E.
A&E. God, you know, AEW's on the mind. I apologize. A&E, they're working with WWE for a couple television series. Or it's one series with multiple episodes. Let me pull it up here. Yeah, so they will produce a 5-part original 2-hour documentaries showcasing WWE legends like Macho Man Randy Savage, Roddy Piper, Booker T, Stone Cold, Steve Austin, and Shawn Michaels.
I'm always leery when WWE does documentaries. Sometimes they can be really good. Sometimes they can be rewriting of history of sorts. There is really good stuff out there, like especially like the documentaries they do on the network. Those are really good. I think it's just a completely different team that Vince isn't overlooking and doesn't have complete control over. So I'm pretty sure with this being a big-time deal with A&E, possibly Vince is going to have his fingerprints all over this. And I yesterday watched the premiere of The Dark Side of the Ring, the documentary. This first episode was with Macho Man and Liz.
Yeah. I didn't see that one. I saw the Bruiser Brody one. It's already on the Viceland YouTube channel. The Bruiser Brody one was very good. It got a lot of real insight into what happened that unfortunate night that he was murdered. And it's crazy. The guy who did it is running around Puerto Rico taking pictures with kids for their birthday parties. So it's like, you know, the judicial system there is not very good.
Yeah, that's a whole different can of worms we can open up later.
Yes, on another episode of the BC. All right, Zack Ryder's engagement. He got engaged to former Tough Enough's contestant, former Impact star Chelsea Green.
Congratulations to them.
I know. Yeah, woo woo woo.
She will always be his amusement park partner when him goes on his little trips with Cody Rhodes and Brandy.
Do you think he cares about his toys more than he cares about her?
He cares about his toys a lot.
Yeah, because I heard a story that his friend's kid was staying over and like the kid wanted to play with the toys and he was like absolutely not. So yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Well, I know he has like his own room. He has all the gimmicks in there. I even watched the YouTube channel with him and Kurt Hawkins on the Major Brothers whatever podcast
thing that they do,
figure hunting thing.
Yeah,
it's very enjoyable. So shout out to Zach and Chelsea. Hopefully everything works out with them.
You got a gimmick room?
It's my bedroom.
Same.
It's not exactly as gimmicked as Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder's is.
Yeah, I mean there are some fans who go way too in depth with the gimmicks. I know there's one guy that has like a mannequin with Razor Ramon's actual ring-worn gear. Yeah, so
yeah, that's probably worth a lot of money.
Yeah, you never know. You never know, dude. All right, so AEW is reportedly going to have a 2-hour TV show coming up in October. TBS and TNT. It looks like it's going to be one of those two networks.
Yeah, so there was news that kind of broke yesterday that someone reported that they were gonna kind of confirmed that TNT and or TBS was gonna be the home of AEW because they're gonna present them as the upcoming fall lineup for their upfronts. Which is where like all these television companies like preview all the shows for the fall lineup so they can sell to advertising, blah 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 blah. And then today I read on your boy Big Dave. He reported that they are in talks.
Batista?
AEW is in talks with Turner, but there's no deal inked yet. So,
Oh.
I mean, pretty much for the entire duration of this AEW run, we've kind of talked about probably TBS or TNT is the best fit. I think ESPN's also another big fit. I mean, obviously, I don't think they're going to land with Fox or NBC because they have WWE. So, Turner or ESPN seems like the most logical places for them to stay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to October, and of course, SmackDown's moving over to Fox, and then we're still gonna have wrestling on Tuesday nights because I remember they trademarked Tuesday Night Delight.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure what's going to happen is as this first week that SmackDown moves to Friday is the first week AEW is going to run their show.
Yeah, I'm excited for it, man. I think it's gonna be a new and hip, exciting. All right, so WrestleMania 35 was Batista's last match. After or the next day, he took to social media to announce that he was retiring. I want to read his little message. To all the WWE fans across the world that gave me the opportunity to suspend your disbelief, thank you. From the biggest part of my heart, thank you for letting me entertain you. Tonight was my storybook ending, and I wanted to leave with you all that I had to give. I'll miss this theater of violence more than I can express into words, but I am officially retiring from sports entertainment. I'm proud of what I've accomplished. I leave in great health, and without a doubt, the show will go on. I had a hell of a run. Thank you for the journey, Batista. Shout out Big Dave.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't know if it was going to be explicitly his last ever wrestling match, but he was obviously winding down, and he was going to close the book on his wrestling career eventually. He's been doing good over in Hollywood, doing his thing over there. So not surprising that he retired. I mean, the whole thing the actual match going into it was Triple H was going to be the one that was going to retire, but nope, it was just Batista the entire time.
Yeah. You got any favorite matches of Big Dave?
I mean, not really. I think the memory that sticks out the most is probably the memory that a lot of people stand out is when he turned on Evolution. He gave the whole thumbs up, thumbs down gimmick after he won the Royal Rumble.
He had a badass theme song. Really did. By Saliva. Dave, countless memories. Him and The Undertaker, him and Edge, him and Cena, and Hunter and Orton. Thank you, Batista, for all your years of service. All right, so after Raw went off the air, the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania, Dean Ambrose with Seth and Roman, he gave his farewell. So, looks like Dean's really leaving.
Oh, it's not a work?
Okay, look, it's professional wrestling, I think everything's a work. Okay?
So my boy Wade Keller was right.
I don't listen to Wade Keller.
But
Wade
right.
Keller's a fine human being. I've heard him on Sam Roberts. I've enjoyed him there. I haven't taken the time to branch out and hear his other content. I probably should.
Probably should. He has a lot of stuff, especially on the VIP side. You guys should go VIP on Pro Wrestling Torch.
Okay. How much is that?
It's like $10 a month. It's just like WWE Network, or you can go $100 a year, like what I do.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, so going back to the Dean Ambrose situation, I mean, they posted basically the entire after show thing on YouTube. I watched it. It was very enjoyable. I was actually kind of surprised that Dean Ambrose actually got on the mic and talked a little bit. I was kind of shocked. I didn't think he was going to actually do that, but he did. Roman didn't say anything. I mean, he said a little bit, but not too much. We maybe get into the Roman thing on Raw, but I thought it was a nice send-off, much better than just him, sort of doing the job, so to speak, to Lashley on Raw. Obviously, the crowd knew what was coming. They were chanting "Thank you, Ambrose." By the time the angle was over, they weren't even like involved in the storyline by booing Lashley. They kind of understood what was going on, so it was nice that they kind of came out after the show, after all the BS that happened at the end of Raw that we can talk about. But it was kind of a nice little bow to put on the WrestleMania weekend. It's not exactly his final day in WWE because they're doing Shield matches, for the next couple weeks on the house show tour. But this is most likely his last date on TV.
That wasn't the last time ever?
I know, shocker that WWE lied to us.
Oh, last time televised.
Even though with all the stuff that happened on WWE on Raw, I'm pretty sure what they should have done is just give us Shield versus New Day, and it would have been much better than what they gave us.
Yeah, it was really good that one Survivor Series that had happened. That was fuego. Yeah, but Dean, if you're really leaving, thanks, my guy. I enjoyed you as WWE champion. Those 83 days that you held it. Yeah, I had some good times. Loved your Hell in the Cell match with Seth.
I'll see you in Vegas.
I'll see him and Renee walking the strip.
Yep.
Oh yeah. All right. WWE interviewer Dasha Fuentes has been released from WWE. She was released 1 week ago today. It has not been announced why she was released, but she's currently on vacation, enjoying her time off. So I'm gonna miss Dasha. She was a good interviewer. I enjoyed her work.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's on vacation. This is the nice weekend they give. God forbid they actually give their independent contractors vacation after the biggest weekend of the year. But anyways, I mean, I think the first time I ever saw Dasha was when I went to NXT. Oh my God, in Sacramento, the music festival, not Loudwire, Aftershock.
Aftershock.
That's what it was called. And I saw her. I was like, oh, she's good. And then she was doing more stuff in NXT. And even like the last couple weeks, I was kind of thinking about it. I was like, huh. They brought in the blonde girl, and they bring in Kayla, and I'm like, well, where's Dasha? Dasha hasn't been here for a while. And then
Kayla Braxton, a gem.
The news came out today that she was released. So good on you, and have fun in your future endeavors, I guess.
Yes. All right, for the Bay Area fans, Raw will be at the SAP Center June 10th. I'll try to make it out there.
I mean, I'm probably going to go to the show. Got pre-sale codes given to me, but not going to give them quite yet, just because we got some more stuff coming up with
Double or Nothing.
With Double or Nothing, got to save my money for that. And the NXT TakeOver show happening on Saturday. I got to save my money and put all my money into that show compared to this Raw.
They have a date for that yet, exactly?
It's the Saturday before, so the 8th.
The 8th. Okay. All right. I'll probably win the Bulletcast title there.
You never win at NXT.
I retained this past weekend.
You tied. You didn't win.
Okay.
You basically won via countout.
Next takeover, I win.
Okay.
All right.
Basically, you got disqualified. That's what happened.
Oh, okay. Champions rules. Champions advantage. David Arquette, the former WCW Heavyweight Champion of the World, challenges Mr. Anderson for a Legends of Wrestling event coming up this month.
I mean, it's David Arquette wrestling. There's not much to talk about it. I mean,
wow. He's a
fine.
former world champion.
I mean, he is a former WCW world champion, which isn't saying a lot because almost everyone. I mean, Vince Russo was a champion, and
Vince Russo was the head.
And Eric Bischoff and everybody.
Eric Bischoff?
I'm pretty sure Eric Bischoff didn't win, but I wouldn't be shocked if he did. He was in matches and
Vince
stuff.
Russo and Vince McMahon have all been world champion? Really? And Mr. Perfect never got a run? Can you believe that?
It's a damn shame.
It's a travesty. All right, apparently Big E tore his meniscus, and he's not cleared for in-ring competition.
He's got to lay off the splits. Maybe that's why he's hurting his knee. But it is sad. I mean, I really do enjoy Big E. I don't know exactly. I mean, he tore his meniscus, so that means he can't actually wrestle. But hopefully that means that he could just come out and he could just do his thing, and he can just be the Big E at ringside that we all know and love. Because as of this moment,
absolutely.
As of this moment, obviously, Kofi's going to be doing his own thing, so if he just has Xavier and Big E at ringside, that's fine, but then I don't know what you do with Xavier. Does he go off and maybe have, like, a singles feud with Samoa Joe for the U.S. title, or... I don't know.
No, I think a big monster among men is headed that direction. All right, this day in wrestling, Buddy Rogers wins the WWE Championship on this day in 1963.
Shout out Buddy Rogers.
Wow, that's during the Kennedy administration. Wow, all right. Speaking of the WCW World Championship, DDP won it on this day in 1997. Edge retired on this day in 2011. One of the saddest retirements I've ever seen. Harley Race, it's his birthday. He's 76. Goldust is 50, and Balls Mahoney would have been 47.
Happy birthday to all those guys.
Yes, happy birthday. All right, let's hit the fan mail real quick. Let me go to the email. Oh my God. Here we go. The phone's acting slow. All right, here we go. Hootie Hoo 420.
Hootie Hoo.
Go in depth on your reactions to Kofi Mania running wild. I loved it. I thought it was great. I shed some tears. I'm not gonna lie. It was awesome. You?
I thought it was the best match of the show. I thought it could have been better. I thought the ending sequence kind of came out of nowhere. I didn't think it kind of hit that crescendo that I was waiting for it to hit. but I think that the emotion and everything that happened afterwards kind of blew me away. I thought it was, I mean, it was a long show, but I think it was kind of in that perfect middle to where it was kind of like where a normal pay-per-view should be, the end. So the crowd was still kind of hot, and just everything that was going on. The kids brought into the ring. Obviously, it was fantastic. And now we're hitting that, the next step. Now he's a champion. So where do you go from here? On SmackDown, they didn't really set up a clear-cut challenger, so
we'll see. Superstar shakeups coming up. We'll see. I mean, in the near 56-year history of this championship, we've never had a black man to hold the title. People will say The Rock. I don't want to diminish Dwayne's accomplishments or anything like that, but we finally got there. People thought we'd never see a black president. I thought we'd never see a black champion. So, business was done right. Business was done right. That's all I got to say there. All right, unlock the phone. More. Jack of all trades. WWE has been bringing Hulk Hogan back in small amounts. Are you guys okay with it?
I mean, I don't know what you would consider okay with it. I think as long as they're just he's just out there. It's almost like what he did at WrestleMania was almost kind of like what he did in Saudi Arabia. He just kind of came out, cut a promo that didn't really mean anything, hit some poses, and then left. He's making money a little bit from these appearances, obviously, sure, but as long as he's not like a weekly fixture. It's it's a delicate situation. I don't exactly know how you utilize Hulk Hogan because obviously he's historical, one of the best wrestlers of all time, but yet there's the big gray cloud over his head. So I mean, do you use him? Do you not use him? I mean, he's Hulk Hogan. He's been here forever. What is there actually to be gained from him besides these little sporadic appearances?
Yeah, I'm still just I've even heard people not of color talk about it. They're like, I don't want to see the guy, So it's, I can deal without Hogan being there. If he absolutely has to be there, like the Mean Gene situation, I'm okay with that. Anything else, nah.
I mean, he's just kind of a smarmy person to begin with, without the racist stuff. So
yeah. There are tons of backstage stories about the Hulkster. All right, Blue Rhino, Philip, if you ever came to face with the Hulkster, would you throw hands with the Immortal One? No, man. I'm not squaring up with Terry. All right. Blue Rhino again. Those takes about R. Kelly and Michael Jackson were too heated, guys. Chill.
That's why I just walked away. I didn't want to, I didn't want to throw hands like Philip's going to throw hands at.
Apparently, we gave hot takes about R. Kelly and Michael Jackson.
I mean, yours are flaming.
By the way, Oprah deleted those interviews that she did of those guys, and the director of the film has retracted some statements saying one of those guys couldn't have been molested by Michael during the time period that he claims due to tours and whatnot. So, just throwing that out there.
But weren't they on tour with Michael?
I don't know. I don't. The HBO even pulled the Neverland documentary, so. Yeah, we can get into that on a completely different topic. Completely different show. Last one up, Copenhagen Smith. Guys love the show, and since Philip complains that he's old, here's what you guys do. You have a Vince, Shane, and Hunter scenario. Brandon versus the other guy with Philip as special referee for control of the show. Wow!
Well, I guess I would just win by forfeit. It'd almost be like the God versus Vince McMahon match because the other guy would just never show up.
That was amazing. I don't know who Copenhagen Smith is. I gotta find out where this guy lives. Gotta give him a shout out. If he's Bay Area, maybe he can come on the show. You never.
I mean, he'll show up unlike the other guy.
Oh, scorching hot takes from the current Bulletcast champion. All right, let's get into the Raw recap, guys. So, Seth Rollins, he has a celebration and a challenge. He comes out on Monday Night Raw. Says he's going to be a fighting champion. Says he's going to be here every week. And then the New Day shows up. Kofi Kingston shows up with Xavier and Big E with the WWE title. Seth's like, man, this is Monday. This isn't SmackDown. It's not Tuesday. And Kofi says, Becky had a good thing going last night. Winner take all. So you and me, winner take all. They have a match. Winner becomes the WWE and Universal Champion. Seth accepts the challenge. Thoughts on that?
The promo itself, everything involved with it, I thought it was good. Seth came out. He was over. He was cutting a good solid babyface promo. Kofi was over. I thought Xavier and Big E were fantastic, especially on the side when Seth Rollins' music hit and they were just jamming out with the, Xavier on the guitar and Big E on the drums. It was amazing. Big E hit the splits. Everyone popped huge for that.
That's where he tore his meniscus.
But possibly, I mean,
Possibly, you never know.
I mean, 275 plus dudes shouldn't be hitting the splits like that.
That's a thick man.
But I love the opening segment. That was a good hot way to kick off Raw. They set up the winner take all match. At the beginning, I was like, okay, it makes sense because we've kind of talked about how the brand split's kind of diminishing at this moment, so maybe they are going to do this. But then as time wore on, I was like, okay, they're not going to do this. And then the match happens, and we
got that at the end.
And they just, I don't even know what they were thinking when it came to that match.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. All right, so the Raw Tag Team Championships, Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder defend and successfully retain against the Revival.
Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins came out to some boos at the beginning of the match. The crowd was obviously in favor of the Revival, but I thought
top guys.
I thought Zack and Kurt did a good job of kind of turning the crowd in favor of them and kind of got them to pop when they won. So, I mean, good for them. How long does it actually last? I think is this a continuation of the burial of the Revival, which means the Revival are going to leave eventually? I hope so, but I don't know the contract status. They're going to be here for another year of this.
We don't know.
Atrocity.
We shall see. All right, so Baron Corbin is out there gloating that he beat Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle comes out and he says, "You were the better man," and then he gives him an angle slam, puts him in the angle lock, and all that's fun and good. Lars Sullivan finally shows up on television, and he attacks Kurt Angle. What do you think about Lars laying out the Hall of Famer?
It makes sense. It was kind of surprising, kind of one of the biggest surprises of the night. I mean, I don't understand. We kind of talked about this on the instant analysis. Why did Kurt Angle do the job? What does Baron Corbin actually gain from this? Just have a nice little happy moment, and they kind of try to make good with it on this episode of Raw by having him do an angle slam. But I mean, I'm pretty sure this is what's Baron Corbin's gimmick gonna go forward. He's just going to be the guy who retired Kurt Angle and blah, 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 blah. So Lars Sullivan coming out. I mean, I'm high on Lars. I think he's really good. He's just more than like a...
Really?
I think he's more than even what Braun Strowman can be.
Really?
Because I think Lars he carries himself similarly to Braun Strowman, but I think he has, he's a much better talker. I don't know about in-ring wise.
What?
He's a very smart, eloquent man who can talk very well.
I mean, Lars, I was at that NXT TV taping where he faced Keith Lee. I thought the match was great. But I don't know, man. Is he like a Snitsky where he's just kind of big?
I'm not going to sit here and say I'm not saying he's Drew McIntyre and he's going to be main eventing in the next couple years. I'm just saying I'm high on him. I think he can be more versatile than Drew. Oh my God, the big dude Braun Strowman. I'm going to be honest. This is not the best podcast for me right now. I am slipping. Maybe I'm still out of WrestleMania hangover. But I think Lars Sullivan, hot take, I think he's going to be in the One Name Club eventually. I think he's just being called Lars. I'm throwing that out there. And then when that Sullivan gets chopped off, I'm going to come back.
I know. I didn't even put Lars Sullivan on the script, so maybe I'm foreshadowing it.
Possibly.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he did the kind of same thing on SmackDown. I mean, first off, I'm happy that he's kind of got everything in order with his life, and he's kind of got everything under control, hopefully. It doesn't come back up again, but, hopefully it doesn't hurt him in terms of physically, mentally, and backstage politic-wise as well.
Yeah, he had anxiety issues or something, so I'm glad he's okay, I mean, he's a massive specimen. I want to see I need to see a little bit more from Lars Sullivan before I can make a firm judgment about how I think he's going to do on the main roster. All right, Alexa Bliss finally returns to in-ring competition, and the Goddess defeats Bayley.
Yeah, this match started like 10 minutes before the top of the hour, and I was like, they're not going to go 10 minutes, and they're going to have this as like an anchor segment, and they didn't. It was just a very quick, almost a squash of Bayley. And interesting to think, Alexa Bliss is kind of like her first in-ring appearance in a few months. So, I mean, that's good to see her be back in the ring and be physically clear to be doing all this stuff. But Sasha Banks and Bayley lose the championships. Bayley gets squashed pretty much against Alexa. Yeah. Sasha apparently had to no-show a Wendy Williams talk show appearance. And there's rumors about what exactly is going on with her. There's is it really personal? Is it something? Who knows exactly what's going on with Sasha and Bayley? But maybe just Bayley was taking heat for something that Sasha happened. I don't know. Hopefully it doesn't hurt them too much.
Yeah.
I mean, if so, maybe they go to AEW and that women's division gets a big boost that they need.
Yes, Davina Rose and Mercedes running wild in AEW. I mean, Bailey took an L. What Mania took an L on Raw, took an L on Twitter. Gosh, she's just taking L's, man.
How did she take an L on Twitter?
Oh, her profile picture is her with the women's title. Then Peyton Royce was like, "You should probably change that." Just boom, just taking mad at those, man. The IKonics even on Twitter are great, fantastic. All right, so Lacey Evans, the sassy Southern Belle, is that what they call her? Is it sassy or sexy?
Sassy.
Sassy Southern Belle gets Becky Lynch's attention. So the man comes out there with both of her championships. She cuts a promo. She's Becky Two Belts and Becky Two titles, whatever you want to say. And then she's standing tall on the ramp and she gets clocked by the woman's right by Lacey Evans. And then they brawl for a little bit over by the announcers area. What are your thoughts on this?
Once again, similar to the Seth and Kofi situation. I thought it was a good promo. It wasn't fantastic. One thing that we kind of speculated about was the finish, and was like, oh, was it botched? Was it supposed to happen? I don't exactly know. They didn't really hint at it. They didn't talk about it at all during the the Raw in general with the screen grabs. They didn't talk about it. So maybe they didn't talk about it because it wasn't supposed to happen, or maybe it was supposed to happen, but they're just kind of keeping that nugget out there because Ronda's going to come back eventually.
You're talking about the finish of the WrestleMania match.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Becky, she talked about it on the Gorilla Position podcast. She said, hey, the dope didn't dispute it. I won,
But that wasn't on WWE.
No, but it was better that way, WWE, they're going to try to hide it, obviously. Apparently the finish was she was supposed to tap out Charlotte.
I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
Why would the referee, why would he count to 3? There's not like they have a mandate to where it's a real sport and you have to actually call it the way you see it.
Dude, I have no idea.
I mean, there's been plenty of times where there's been false finishes where it shouldn't have been, and blah, 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 but who knows. But besides that, Lacey Evans coming out, my pick to win the Women's Royal Rumble Battle Royal thingy, and she didn't even show up on the show, but then she comes out during the freaking regular show and she just comes out. She doesn't even walk, she just kind of peeks her head out and then goes back to grill. What the hell was that?
Yeah. You see, I mean, I've never really had a problem with Lacey Evans doing this whole walk around thing because I'm like, all right, it's leading to something. What is this something? And this is it.
I mean, I don't think when she made her debut, whatever that was, after Survivor Series, that they were gonna, have her do this all the way up until WrestleMania.
Well, apparently, Brandon, WWE storylines are planned a year in advance.
This is in 1989. It's 1999? No.
2019.
Is it 2009?
Are you okay?
It's 2019.
God, that WrestleMania hangover's real, buddy.
I know.
Oh my God. It was like almost a week ago.
I wish it was 1999. I was a lot younger back then. I'm more spry. I have more energy. I'm just a shell of my former self.
Okay. Look, we can talk about Lacey Evans and Becky once more when we get to SmackDown. All right, what else happened on the Red brand? Ricochet and Aleister Black defeat Bobby Roode and Chad Gable. And then Chad Gable and Bobby Roode decide they need to resort back to their old tactics. Or new tactics for Gable, old tactics for Roode. Heel. Bad guys.
I thought they turned heel a few weeks ago. And now they're officially turning heel. Even though Bobby Roode was the one who turned heel, and then Chad Gable wasn't going full force with it again. So hopefully this maybe might lead to some sort of breakup when we get the babyface Chad Gable that we all want to see. Who exactly knows? This is a waste of both of them, but hopefully I think babyface Chad Gable against heel Bobby Roode is the best use of both of them. So hopefully they split up. And
what are we doing with Bobby Roode? I miss heel Bobby Roode. Can we just get rid of the Glorious theme song? And then stop making him be about this one word and go back to heel Bobby Roode TNA days, some badass instrumental for his theme song. Just let him tear it up, man.
Yeah, he doesn't need to be a cowboy. He doesn't need to be Beer Money. He just needs to be in a suit.
Beer Money was great.
I mean, he can be glorious, but just without the theme song. He can have the suits. He can be all well-tailored and dressed up, and then just be better than everybody else.
Yeah, he was doing that in TNA when he was their heavyweight champion. It was great.
Yeah. Just another underutilized wrestler WWE's using right now.
What year is it? I'm saying
1999.
WWE should use TNA storyline?
2009?
God.
1997.
Whoa, hey, Jesus, it's going there. All right. So Lashley lays out Ambrose. We already talked about this earlier. We don't have to really talk about it anymore. Renee did look concerned for her man. All right. The Intercontinental Championship. So, Sami Zayn makes his return to WWE. He said, "Did you miss me?" All that other stuff. He's like, "I could use a match." Finn Balor shows up with the Intercontinental title, covering those glorious abs. And they have a match, and Finn retains.
I thought this was a good match. I think this could have been and maybe should have been the main event if Big E does have this injury, couldn't have wrestled. And you could have just built this up as Finn Balor having a mystery opponent for the IC Championship. And you can still do the whole promo they did afterwards at the very end of the show. But I just thought, I thought this was a really good match. Maybe not, a barn burner like some of the other Raw after WrestleMania matches we've seen, but it was good. But the promo afterwards, I had some issues with it.
Yeah, it was not okay. He kind of did the same thing on SmackDown, too. So
I just don't understand what the point of that promo was. I know Vince has his things that he doesn't like about the WWE universe, especially in Bizarro World, like the Raw After Mania crowds. But this crowd was not rambunctious whatsoever. Like, they were going along with it because you booked the baby faces that they wanted to win. So Seth was over, Kofi was over, Becky was over. Everybody in this show, for the most part, maybe even everybody, was in the right slots, and the crowd wasn't really taking over the match. Yes, they were doing some stupid chants during the tag team match with Roode and Aleister Black or Ricochet or whatever. But they were pretty much just they're just a really hot crowd, and then Sami Zayn comes out, just buries them for no godly reason. And it doesn't put heat on Sami Zayn, this puts heat on Vince McMahon and the company, because people know, because wrestling is so meta now, that we all know that Sami Zayn is just a puppet for Vince McMahon. So I don't know where they're going with this.
Kayfabe, bro, he really thinks these things. He really believes all those.
Sami Zayn is the nicest wrestler I have ever met.
I've never met Sami Zayn. I'd like to talk to him for a few minutes. That'd be very nice. All right, so Elias has a concert in the middle of the ring, and he says the next person that interrupts him is going to be a dead man. Ask, and he shall cometh. The gong hits the Phenom, the demon from Death Valley. The man we're going to meet at StarCast makes his way down the ramp, throws a big boot right in Elias's face, hits him with a tombstone, and makes his way back through Gorilla.
I liked it. I thought when Elias said dead man, I was like, oh, he's trolling. It's not going to be The Undertaker. Then the gong hits, and then all the other stuff happens. And Undertaker takes 20 minutes to go down to the ring.
Wow.
But, I thought it was good. It was the perfect use of The Undertaker. Just hit his big moves, get out of there, and he doesn't have to wrestle a 20-minute classic with Triple H in front of the Saudis.
Dude, I was surprised he could get it. He could throw that big boot. I was a little shocked. I'm not going to lie. I didn't think he was that limber anymore.
Maybe he's on that DDP yoga.
Dude, yeah, DDP. That DDP yoga, we gotta hop on that, man. I want to be like DDP, like 63 and still flexible as all hell.
Yeah, The Undertaker, maybe he should have just kept the mohawk from WrestleMania 28 because he's looking a little thin up top.
Yeah.
But
it's not looking good.
It's the perfect gimmick if you're going to be old and long in the tooth to be a dead man. So, you're playing into the gimmick. The older you look, the more dead and more, whatever you're trying to be.
Yes.
I suck today. I'm gonna be honest, guys. I'm sorry.
Hey, it's okay, man.
They can't all be A+. Sometimes I gotta be B- like Randy Orton.
Whoa, hey, why you gotta go there, man? Randy Orton is a legend, bro. Like, why you gotta do that to the guy?
I told you, WrestleMania, the match with AJ was gonna be okay, and that's what it was. It was just okay.
Look, man, we all know Randy can go to that next gear, okay? We all know that. All right?
Yeah, 13 years ago.
Wow, why are you destroying Randy Orton? What did he ever do to you? It's because of SummerSlam 2013. Is that why?
It might be.
Are you still holding that grudge?
Maybe just a little bit.
Dude, Randy's a good guy, man.
I did like him trolling WWE on SmackDown with the whole putting his hands over his eyes, being blinded by the light.
Oh, yeah, that was funny. All right, so the winner-take-all match, Kofi Kingston versus Seth Rollins. What did you think of the match before what happened?
Well, it wasn't much of a match. The match kind of started 20 minutes before the end of the show. So I was like, okay, we're going to get, in and out. We're going to get, good 10, 15 minutes of action, maybe a run-in by maybe Undisputed Era.
Oh, that would have been great.
Or somebody, but not the Bar. I think the last people I would have thought to run in and cost someone this match would have been the Bar.
The Bar's great.
This meant nothing. It didn't make any sense. Why would the Bar come out and make this run in on Kofi and Seth? they haven't had any heat with either one of them for weeks or months since whenever the last time the Bar faced the New Day, when the Big Show was their heavy for like a week and a half.
I remember that.
Exactly. That was how long ago this was. And this was just such a cop-out. Maybe the Undertaker thing beforehand was their WWE's way of like, look, guys, we gave you Undertaker, so don't be mad at us when we do a blatant bait and switch. And maybe the crowd should have been smart enough to realize, like, okay, we're not going to actually get a finish to this match. But I think they're smart enough to also realize, like, we're going to get something big at the very end of the night after WrestleMania Raw. There's always something big. We didn't really get any super big angles. No, yes, we got Lars, we got The Undertaker, but there was no debuting, as I said, Undisputed Era or Shayna Baszler or somebody from NXT, but
Undisputed Era would have been awesome.
And it would have made complete sense, but
could you imagine Adam Cole versus Seth Rollins?
It makes sense for them to come up, and it made sense. There was, 4 or 5 people with New Day and The Shield, and you can have them run roughshod, but also I want Undisputed to stay down in NXT because I want them to be perfectly utilized and not be overexposed as in WWE. But, they wrestled like 5 minutes until the Bar came out, and then the Bar does whatever the hell they did.
And Kofi and Seth beat the Bar.
Yeah, and then Seth Rollins is the one like, you put the babyface in the situation to disappoint the crowd by saying, Kofi, we can have this winner-take-all match, the biggest match you can have in wrestling another day. We're going to face the Bar who just, messed this thing up for no godly reason, and we're going to reward them, and yeah, it makes no damn sense.
Yeah, we shall see.
And then this is when after the Sami Zayn promo, the crowd was perfectly fine, and then after this Bar interruption, that's when the crowd turned on Raw. They got the sustained AEW chants. They got some other chants. Beach balls came out. That's when they definitely started. If this was just a straight up, maybe if you just even pulled the bait and switch with 90 seconds left in the show, maybe you could have got the crowd into the match and you wouldn't have gotten this hostile takeover. Yeah. This is maybe not the weakest, but the most easygoing crowd. And it's not even easygoing. It's just you book all the baby faces and all the wrestlers in the correct slots, and the crowd will oblige, and they will cheer for who they want to cheer if they are baby faces. And also, Roman Reigns was nowhere to be seen.
He was not.
Which is also an interesting thing about Raw is, did they assume that Roman was going to get booed? We talked about it a little bit on the instant analysis, that Roman did get booed a little bit, but I think Vince might have been a little scared to trot Roman out there on the night after maybe, thinking that he was going to get booed out the building again.
Yeah, given what happened a few years ago. All right, SmackDown Live. Kofi Kingston, he has a celebration to close out the Mania season, so he's out there with the New Day. They're all celebrating and all whatnot. The Bar comes out there with the Scottish Terminator, Drew McIntyre, which sets up a 6-man tag for the main event of the show.
Just like Raw, I thought the opening segment was great. I thought Kofi and Big E and Xavier all were perfect. They showed emotion. They connected with the crowd. This part with the Bar and Drew McIntyre made more sense because they kind of built off of what happened on Raw. But I still don't understand why they're even doing this in the first place. It's just kind of, they throw them out there because it's 3 guys against 3 guys, and there you go.
Yes.
And once again, the brand split is just completely going down the drain, even though we have the Superstar Shakeup next week, so maybe WWE is thinking we're too stupid to know how a person from Raw would come over to SmackDown. So they're showing us, look, this guy from Raw's over here on SmackDown. This is what could happen next week. Thanks a lot.
Lacey Evans.
Thanks for holding my hand, Vince. I appreciate it.
Lacey Evans targets Becky Lynch again.
Pretty much the same thing, but this time Lacey definitely getting the upper hand. We didn't exactly talk about Lacey as an opponent for Becky. I think she's good. I think she's, a good character on NXT. She never really showed me anything in-ring wise that will wow me. Luckily, she's getting put up against one of the best wrestlers in the company, against Becky Lynch, so I think that's going to help that they're going to put... I think she's good. She's a good physical specimen that she can, put a lot of heat on her and blah, 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 and be overpowering against Becky. But my thing is, when she moves past Becky, if she has to go up against the other women, like a Carmella, another, the baby face right below Becky.
Yeah.
I think those matches are not going to be as good. Yeah. And that's when I start to worry.
I mean,
about
Lacey Evans. I saw this interview from the Hall of Fame red carpet. She knows her character. She's like the Velveteen Dream. She absolutely understands what her character is. So I haven't seen her in ring work, so to speak. Didn't really watch her in NXT, but I believe that they can have some good matches.
I mean, it's kind of, I feel the same. It's like the character. I love the character. It's good. She knows how to play it up. It's probably, just a little. It's just herself turned into 11, which is always what the best characters are. But it's just the in-ring work. It's something to be desired, and hopefully she gets better. I don't know exactly what she's doing on the house shows. I mean, she hasn't wrestled on TV at all.
Yeah.
So, who exactly
She was
knows?
in the Women's Royal Rumble.
Yes. And she wasn't even really spectacular there either, even though she was like the Iron Woman for the most part.
I know, she was amazing. All right, Mustafa Ali.
Nope, just Ali.
Oh.
Just Ali. He's a part of the one-name club.
Oh, okay. Okay. Ali, Ricochet, Aleister Black, they defeat Andrade Cien Almas. I'm keeping his name.
Just Andrade.
He gets to keep his name.
Even though he hasn't changed his Instagram name, it's still Andrade Almas.
Exactly. On this show, he keeps his name.
Shout out Charlotte and Andrade. They're public now.
I know,
it's
yeah.
So beautiful.
That's a real power couple right there.
They're in Punta Cana.
Hey, if Charlotte hits Charlotte hits a tranquilo in a match, I'm gonna pop huge. I am.
I mean, she learned the Spanish fly from her daddy.
I did have to bring that up. They defeat Almas, Rusev, and Shinsuke Nakamura, and then from out of nowhere, Randy Orton RKO's Mustafa Ali.
Just Ali.
Oh, Ali. I'm sorry. And then Kevin Owens hits a stunner on Rusev.
Another person in the one-name club, formerly Alexander Rusev.
Yeah, I mean, Ali, Andrade, Rusev, Cesaro, Big E. A lot of people in that club. Apollo Crews was there for a little bit.
Mm-hmm. I was just thinking, okay, is Aleister Black just going to be Aleister?
Oh, that's
no,
weird.
it shouldn't. Yeah, it shouldn't be.
Ricochet's already in the one-name club. Does he get it? I think Charlotte's the only person that has had a name added.
Yeah, I mean, that one was kind of weird. I don't understand. I mean, I understand why they did it because it's the Flair name. But go back to the match. The match itself was good. It was just there to fill time. It was good action. Randy Orton against Ali should be a good little matchup for Ali to kind of, rise through the ranks. Hopefully,
get his feet wet.
Hopefully, to kind of build off of what he kind of did earlier. Unfortunately, before his injury, that kind of propelled this whole Kofi Mania stuff. And Rusev versus Kevin Owens. I'm excited. Hopefully, this can be like the first real feud for Kevin Owens since the Kofi Mania interrupted his push to WrestleMania.
I'm surprised Ali was never really Cruiserweight champion. I'm surprised they didn't do it. Shout out Tony Nese, the new Cruiserweight champion.
Yeah, him going up to SmackDown was always kind of a weird one because he was never really pushed that much in 205 Live.
Yeah, he was heart and soul.
In the Cruiserweight Classic, I mean, he had good showings, but he definitely would have been my first pick. I would have picked him. I would have picked Kenta. I would have picked Buddy Murphy. I would have picked some other people over him. But I think he's shown that he can. He's good. He's good enough to be on the main roster. I think just in general, 205 Live needs to dissolve, and you can bring all those guys up to fill out the main roster on Raw and SmackDown. If there is going to be a brand split going forward until October, when SmackDown goes to Friday, and that's when I think the brand split might be over.
All right, Braun Strowman brawls with the U.S. champion Samoa Joe.
This was kind of like the only surprise of SmackDown, which was a little disappointing. No NXT debuts or anything like that, but I think this is going to be something where we're going to see Finn move over to SmackDown. We're going to see this feud with Samoa Joe and Braun Strowman move over to Raw. I think that's kind of a good fit for them. Itself, I mean, Samoa Joe's been built up strong thus far. Braun Strowman as U.S. champion, I'm not exactly excited about that. So it's going to be interesting to see how they kind of wiggle their way out of this one because I think they're not going to just squash Samoa Joe straight out the gate. So I'll have to wait and see what happens there.
Yeah. All right, the Women's Tag Team Championships were on the line. The IKonics. Go ahead. Oh, you didn't even do the...
Well, we're not on video, so it doesn't even matter.
Aw. They go ahead and...
I want my championship, just like the IKonics have their championships.
Okay.
Go out and watch like the 10-minute video of the IKonics just roaming through WWE backstage area and just yelling at everybody to tell them how great their side plates look.
They are amazing. They defeat the Brooklyn Bells.
Undefeated. No longer undefeated, but they were
undefeated.
They're
45-1. The IKonics are the one behind the 45-1.
That's just how great the IKonics are.
Yes, they're iconic. I mean, it's amazing. Shout out Peyton Royce with the Eddie Guerrero-inspired gear at WrestleMania.
Maybe that's why Sasha Banks was unable to go into Wendy Williams, because she was just completely appalled that Peyton Royce did that.
Yes, I mean, who really wants to go on Wendy Williams, you know?
I didn't even know Wendy Williams was still a thing. I thought she had like a mental breakdown or something.
Yeah, she was divorcing her husband at the time, so she's going through some hard times. But you know, the checks got to keep clearing, so she got to keep working.
Yeah, so Paige was watching him backstage because she wanted to get a closer look, even though she could have just went to ringside to watch them. But
Very true.
she said she's bringing a tag team for them. I think the obvious pick is the Sky Pirates. I think they're great. I think they could be a fantastic tag team in the tag team division, because I think individually, I think they're good. I think Kyrie's better than Io, but I think collectively, if you have Paige as their manager to kind of speak English for them,
what if it's like
it would be fantastic.
What if it's like Casey Catanzaro and like Candice LeRae?
Well, I don't exactly know why they would pair those two together, but maybe
it's random pairing. Like Mickey James and Alicia Fox are a real tag team.
Maybe we get like the Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch women's version or something. Just
they're both bald.
put an American with the British person, put them together,
and they're both really good workers.
Paige can be their manager. There you go.
Dude, that one match they had with the Undisputed Era for the titles, that was awesome. That really was.
So yeah, I don't exactly know who Paige is gonna pick. There's no one except for honestly the Sky Pirates that
I'm glad to see
stand out to me.
I'm glad to see they're still utilizing Paige.
I mean, I like Paige. I think, well, she didn't exactly have the best showing at WrestleMania when Michael Cole asked who's winning the women's tag team match, and she just said Becky Lynch. Not the best showing from, obviously Paige was not paying attention to Cole, but who honestly pays attention to Michael Cole? But I think Paige, if she's not going to be utilized as a GM, as we saw in WrestleMania, maybe she should be utilized as a commentator. I think she could be utilized as a manager, to where she can't take bumps, but
No.
but she could get physical. I think if she needs to,
Pull a leg or two, something like that.
yeah. So I think she's good. She's athletic enough to where she can do stuff if she can do anything. I don't know exactly what her medical status is, but she's a good talker. She's a good character. The people love her, and if she wants to, she could turn heel as well as being a babyface. So.
Yeah, she could. Dude, what happened to Fire and Desire? Mandy and Sonya. What happened to them?
I don't know. I mean, shout out to Demandy's Donuts. New episode came out yesterday.
Yes, Demandy's Donuts. Great YouTube series. I highly recommend it. All right. The best in the world. I can't do it like Greg Hamilton. I can't. But the best in the world, Shane McMahon, comes out to the ring and he humiliates Greg Hamilton because Shane wants Greg to announce him the way he did at WrestleMania. He pulls him by his tie, drags him out of the ring. He's like, come on, give me that WrestleMania one. This is your last shot. This is your last shot as they're on the top of the ramp. And he gives it to him, and Shane's like, all right, that's enough. That's okay.
I thought it was good heel work from Shane. Shane was selling the injuries and the just the carnage that happened on WrestleMania on Sunday. I thought it was a good heel. I thought it should have been expected that those CM Punk chants were going to happen on the Smackdown after WrestleMania when he kept asking to be called the best in the world.
He's the best in the world. CM Punk has actually come out and said something about that.
What did he say?
He said it's just a dig at me. I'm not worried about it.
I mean, good for CM Punk to be rise above hate.
That 2012 John Cena t-shirt.
But my brother actually has that t-shirt.
Really?
Probably does not fit him because he's, let's say, he's got a little hefty in his later years. It's good. We've all...
Does he go to the gym with you? Clanging a banging?
He does go to the gym with me, but he's on the Laney baseball team, so he works out with them.
Okay.
But anyways.
Keep going.
Shane McMahon, I thought he was good as a heel. No Miz, so kind of selling that injury angle as well. So I think they're just kind of stretching this feud out longer to where we're going to get another match, and then maybe that's when we finally get Miz to overcome the best in the world.
Yes. Overcome the best in the world. All right, so we had another tag team championship match, the Smackdown tag team title match. The Usos were being interviewed, I guess, in the Uso penitentiary by who interviewed them? Kayla?
I've been Charlie.
Been...
Charlie and Kayla, they just run together.
Really? How?
No, I mean, I can tell them apart, but if I don't remember who it was,
Charlie Caruso also very, very entertaining.
Charlie Caruso hosting ESPN's First Take now.
Yes.
Shout out to her.
So whoever interviewed them, the Usos, they've said that they needed to wrestle the Hardys. It's been a dream of theirs, and they're going to welcome them to the penitentiary. The match happens, and the Hardy Boys defeat the Usos. My number 1 favorite tag team defeated my number 3 favorite tag team. I don't know how I feel about that.
Who's number 2?
Get the tables.
Okay. But this was, I mean, we kind of speculated this was going to be the match that they were going to do at WrestleMania,
Should have been.
like a month ago.
I
But,
don't know
you know,
why.
you got to get everybody on the show. So the Hardys were in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal while the rest of the SmackDown Tag Team Division was losing to the Usos. But it was a decent match. Hardys win. I don't know where you go from here. It's just, I mean, the Usos re-signed, so they're obviously going to be there. So just what do you do with the Hardys going forward, unless if it's just kind of another nostalgia push that we've kind of seen
I mean,
before.
this is 1999, like you've been saying all show. Those are the Hardys that we see today. You know, they won their 8th tag team title. Congratulations to those boys. And then Lars Sullivan spoils the party, spoils the Hardy party.
So yeah, apparently Lars Sullivan is the new Legend Killer. Apparently, he just comes out and destroys all the old people.
Dude, is that the guy that's going to take out Orton? Is that your pick?
Maybe, maybe.
All right. Any other things you want to talk about from the WrestleMania weekend? Any other things? I know you did your analysis of NXT Takeover
And G1 Supercard.
and G1. I listened. I haven't listened to the G1 Supercard portion yet. I stopped at I think the Jeff Cobb match. Jeff Cobb, friend of the show. Yes.
Had an interview or two with him.
Yes, absolutely. No?
Good stuff. Carl Fredericks also had some matches under New Japan for during the WrestleMania weekend. I don't exactly know what shows, but you know he's a young boy over there and he's doing his thing.
Friend of the show. Yes, absolutely. Hopefully, some more friends of the shows will be making their way to those promotions. Anything else you got, man?
No, I mean I don't even think did we. I think we might have touched on a little bit, but you didn't really talk about Enzo and Cass doing their little invasion at MSG.
I saw this thing. Enzo's name is
Zio.
Enzo, and then Cass is Big, what, XL something?
Big, I think so. They put a promo out there today about new merch, and I was like, I just rolled my eyes. I don't even know why I still follow them.
Dude, I didn't even, I didn't know they were, like, talking or in communications to do anything like that. Oh my god, Ring of Honor's becoming like TNA back in the day.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the thing that I talked a little bit about on my review, that just the ROH portion was just a joke. Like they bring back the beautiful people who have been relevant since 2009, as I was
How
saying.
How dare you?
But they bring them back. They do a terrible work shoot angle with Enzo and Cass right before Hiroshi Tanahashi is going to have his match in the Garden, which took away from Tanahashi doing his thing. And the ladder match for the ROH title was just so long. It did not need to be that long. It took away from the main event with Jay White and Okada. I mean, you could have cut down that ladder match by 10 minutes, cut out a few of the spots.
God.
It could have been what?
Vampiro has announced that he has Alzheimer's due to head trauma.
Well, that's kind of what happens
Jesus
when you
Christ.
wrestle. Something else that I didn't talk about, but apparently there was a slight CTE chant that was going on when Lars Sullivan pulled out the diving headbutt, a move that should be banned in professional wrestling. No one should be doing the diving headbutt. Not only Harley Race, who was kind of the inventor of the move, said that he regrets that he should have never done it because it's given him head injuries and CTE probably. I mean, it's linked exclusively pretty much with Chris Benoit. Daniel Bryan did it. He got his head injuries, and he hasn't really done it since. I think he's maybe done it 1 or 2 times at the very beginning, but he hasn't done it since. I think the diving headbutt, 1, it doesn't look very good. 2, it's a dangerous move.
Yeah, that thing looks gruesome.
So, I mean, I just don't think someone should be doing it because it's not even like a real, like what he does. He jumps off the top rope onto someone's shoulder, which, why would you do that? Why couldn't you just stomp on him? It's quicker, and I feel like it hurts more than a headbutt to the shoulder.
Very true.
So,
very true.
Don't do the diving headbutt, people, if you're out there. Young boy, don't do the diving headbutt.
The young boy's in Japan right now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Getting up by Minoru Suzuki?
Probably. You have any...
No, I mean, he probably wouldn't because he doesn't like Minoru Suzuki because he's fought. He has fought in MMA, so
he's a shoot fighter, yeah.
He probably doesn't like him, which means Minoru Suzuki just wail on him even more.
You have any superstar spotlight there, buddy?
Superstar Spotlight. It was a big show filled with fantastic matches. If I were to pick a Superstar Spotlight, I'll go with Johnny Gargano. I think the match he had with Adam Cole was the best match in my opinion, of the weekend, followed by Naito and Ibushi, followed by Will Ospreay and Bandito at WrestleCon Super Show. But I think the Johnny Gargano match was absolutely fantastic in Iron Man gear, and he came out at the end with Candice and Tommaso Ciampa. They all gave a big group hug, all to what Kofi Mania was to you, Johnny Wrestling, Johnny Takeover was to me.
Speaking of Johnny Gargano, go check out my boy Chris Van Vliet. Check out his YouTube channel. He has a great 30-minute interview with Gargano the early hours before WrestleMania started. Gargano's there in his hotel room with the championship, and he's trying to show you how his gear lights up. And he was just talking about what that moment meant for you and over to him, and how he didn't know Candice was gonna bombard him in the ring, and how he didn't think Ciampa was gonna show up, but he did, and all that other stuff. Really great interview. Talked about how he could barely get out of bed the next day.
I wouldn't blame him. That was a hell of a match.
It was, I thought the Panama City Playboy should have went over. That's just me. But we're gonna see what's gonna happen here with NXT moving forward in the next couple weeks. I gotta tune in now.
I mean, I keep telling you.
Next week is Velveteen Dream versus Buddy Murphy for the North American title.
I'm not on NXT spoilers, so I don't exactly know what's coming down the pipeline. But if that is one of the matches coming up, I'm very excited. I really did like that. Every single match at NXT TakeOver I enjoyed.
Yeah, follow the Dream on Twitter. He is hilarious, just trolling Buddy Murphy. I found out today that this Saturday, East Bay Pro Wrestling is having an event in Pacheco, California. I think Pacheco? Is that how you say that? I don't know. It's not that expensive. Adults are $10, kids are $8. Bring canned foods to help the canned food drive. D-Fresh and Mr. Alphazo, the East Bay Pro Tag Team Champions, friends of the show. They will be defending their titles on Saturday night, so go check those boys out. It's going to be a good time. All right, promo pick of the week, AJ Styles Impact Wrestling promo, August 29th, 2013. This is the era of Impact Wrestling where AJ Styles was gone for a little bit because he lost a triple threat with James Storm and Jeff Hardy in it, and the loser could not have a heavyweight title match for a year. He comes back. This is the dark AJ Styles. Was he with aces and eights? We don't know. He addresses all that in this promo. What'd you think?
It's a good promo. It's almost kind of like a prelude to Bullet Club. AJ Styles, AJ definitely kind of dark and brooding. So, I mean, it's kind of a different side of AJ. It's nice. We all know AJ Bullet Club is my favorite Bullet Club.
Yeah, I was watching the AJ Styles Bullet Club match, and that's how I came up with the name of this podcast. So, we really have to thank AJ Styles for it.
Shout out to Kenny. I watched the Kenny Omega documentary yesterday.
Oh, where'd you watch it at?
I watched it on YouTube.
It's on you.
It's just like a recording of someone watching it on the internet.
You want to send me the link?
Maybe.
I don't get
it's beautiful.
I don't get a definite yes.
Maybe I'll send it right now.
There you go.
All right,
but while you're sending it, why don't you tell us about your match pick of the week here, buddy?
So, my match pick of the week is honestly a match pick that I thought we've already done before.
I checked the archives. We have not.
I mean, I feel like we talk about this a lot. We talk about this match a lot, but we've never actually made this a match pick of the week. So this is Dolph Ziggler cashing in his Money in the Bank briefcase on the April 8th, 2013 edition of Raw, the night after WrestleMania 29, and maybe one of the best night after WrestleMania moments of all time, maybe best Raw moments of all time. Just the crowd was super hot. I still remember watching it, just being surprised it even came out. Kind of foreshadowed a little bit because ADR was selling the leg, and it was great because it just wasn't a simple cash in, hit his finisher and pin him. There was some doubt in there that maybe Dolph Ziggler was going to be the first one to lose the cash in, but he didn't. He wins. Crowd goes absolutely crazy. My girl AJ is there, and Biggie Langston is there as well. And I mean, Dolph Ziggler was a heel when he did this, but just all that was thrown out the window because it was a babyface move, and everyone was just going crazy.
Absolutely. This is my favorite cash-in of all time. I've said it time and time again before. I jumped off of my couch when he won. I started pounding the floor, doing the yes chant. I was so excited for this guy. Maybe now I can get that plaque that we've been talking about.
I told you, $100 and it's yours.
What happened to $50, dude? It was $50 at one point.
The older it gets, the more lucrative it is.
He's not even on TV.
Exactly.
I'll give you $75.
Are you going to the San Francisco show on 420?
I'm going to purchase tickets soon, so I shall be there. I shall be in attendance. Yes. Blaze it.
Blaze it?
Blaze it, yes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, follow us on Twitter, Bulletcast, Instagram, The Bulletcast, YouTube channel, The Bulletcast. Email us, bulletcast2 and the number 2 sweet swet at gmail.com. We're on 99.9 FM KW in Watsonville every Friday night from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, TuneIn, Google Play, iHeartRadio. I think that's it, man. So we've done the damn thing. It's been a pleasure.
I'm sorry, everybody. It wasn't my best performance. I'm just a little nervous because after the show goes off the air, I'm about to go get my tickets to go meet the Smoke Show at Starcast.
How much are those bad boys?
I don't know. I was gonna check right now.
The Smoke Show's on your mind. You're a little nervous. I understand, man. It's okay. Mm-hmm. The Smoke Show she's very nice, very nice. You still hitting the gym, clanging and banging.
Mm-hmm.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. We will see you next week. Ta-ta for now.
This has been the Bulletcast. Thank you for listening.